much better. There you go.
All right, this is the meeting of the Bylaw Review Advisory Committee. It's October 19th, and we're starting a few minutes late. It's 1:45. And this meeting is being recorded on Zoom for rebroadcast on the town website or through 191. Okay, so I don't see, unless, if there was any public, I lost them. I apologize for that, for public comment, but maybe they can try and join again. If there's anyone out there, there never has been, but
you never know.
Can always hope. Okay. All right. I think the most important thing we need to do is get an update. And so what I'm going to do is share the Excel spreadsheet that Chris did that I sent you, but we'll all look at it together here. Okay.
And Virginia, just so you know, I called Lucy, but she's in the middle of voting. She's there by herself, so she's not going to join us today.
I figured that would happen.
Yeah. She said if it was a slow time, she might, but not right now.
You can't see it. I can't either.
Nope. So,
Janet,
yeah, I can.
Janet, the screen won't share. Well, it won't come up.
Okay. Hit the green button down in the middle.
Yep.
So
share screen,
what are you trying to share?
Then go to your document.
Yes.
Okay, then hit share.
There. Thank you.
That's it. Whoa. Okay, now size
All right.
wise.
There we go. Is that too big?
It's too something. I don't know what. It's not readable.
Let me go back.
That's a little bit. Yeah, a little better. No, too little. Well. How can we do that? That's better.
Is this?
Go bigger.
That's better.
This
Can
is
you read
good.
it?
How's that?
I think that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try one more size up.
Yeah. Okay. Better stop there and then just scroll up to the top.
Yeah, because we came down. All right. There we go.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
We got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to let Chris go through this for us.
Well,
and
as best
then
as I
I'll
can.
add the comments as we go along.
Okay.
But thank you for doing all this.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we kind of left off, I think in February is the last time I had kind of updated this. So just to refresh our memories here, we had set this up to try and understand where things were that were already approved bylaws that we didn't need to deal with, as well as others that we were drafting, as well as others that needed to be changed. So across the top, I've added actually another column on the left, which says the old number. So the old number is it's exactly the existing number. In other words, the old number is what is found on what is posted on the town website. The new number is what we were proposing in a couple of cases, and you'll see there's only two, I think, in there, 2 or 3 at most that are in red. And that is because in a couple of cases we were trying to combine bylaws to make them more sensible, and we'll see that as we go along, I think. But also number 4 here, town administrator, was brand new. So when you see a 0 in the left column, it meant that it never existed before. Okay, is that sort of clear? The
Yes.
green ones are ones that we've finished drafting and have tried to move in one direction or another to either select board and or general council or to town meeting. And then the yellow ones are ones that had gone out, we've drafted, they've gone out for review. And Francine can fill us in on anything there because I did not have the updated information to put in there. And then the blue ones, I think, were ones that we still needed to draft. Okay. So with that in mind, just to review that we put 4 of them on the February 220 special town meeting warrant. And the 4 of them were the town meeting, the town administrator, town clerk, and treasurer collector. All four of those were actually approved at town meeting and then were sent to the AG for approval. And I just noticed I have one thing in the wrong column, but I did get from Lucy the letter that came back from the AG. Everything was approved on 5/22. So the one that had comments, though, from the AG was about the treasurer collector. So actually, that with comments note I have in the next to the last column there, that with comments should really go 5/22/20 with comments. That's okay. That's in the wrong place. I can make I'll make a note of that and change that. So there were some comments there, just I think about combining, what the role of the collector was, et cetera. So, because I think it was only a treasurer in the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, and we changed it to treasurer collector. But anyway, they've all been approved. Now, the one thing that I will say about that is, to my knowledge, these four are not yet posted on our town website. So even though these are approved, my understanding is that these are not technically in effect until they're posted on our website.
And I went and checked the section of general law and looking to see if there was a time limit from the time that the town passed it to the time it had to be posted. I couldn't find anything, so it looks if we get it posted now, we're in good shape.
Yeah, Lucy's aware of it, and she had let Ed know about it. It may have just fallen through the cracks here somewhere, but those definitely need to get get posted. So I think that's it on that one. If you want to scroll down a tad bit, on number 7 or 8 there, the one in bold, the restrictions on issuances of licenses, that was one also that was approved at town meeting in October of 19. However, we noticed afterward that it had been, there was an extra paragraph in there that should have been deleted. Something from historical buildings or something got mixed in there. So we tried to send that back to the AG, to General Counsel rather, to General Counsel to get, that taken out to then submit it again for town meeting, but that one never came back to us. So that one and a couple of others you'll see here is the sent to GC. To my knowledge, these are all ones that we had given Ed, and they had gone to GC, and we have not heard back on them at all. So there's another, 5 or so here. There's 5 here.
About that.
Was there one above? I forget, on the select board, maybe up above?
Yep. The general government went, and the select board went.
Yeah. So there's probably another. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 anyway. To my knowledge, I think are still. I think those are ones that Ed actually sent to the GC, but I guess we should probably check that just to be sure. Right.
When I followed up with him initially, and I continued to ask him about the status of these, the issue is, according to Ed, we don't have enough money in our legal budget line to have them review all of these and do all the other work that they have to do for the money that we've allocated this year. And that's sort of why I kind of went on hiatus. I'll bring it up again tomorrow night. There's no more money for us to put in. When I do my report on the bylaws committee, there is no more money that I'm aware of that we can put in at this time to move these things along. But that's the status.
Yeah. Well, and I guess my thought is, a lot of these went toward the GC, I think, in January. So technically that was last year's fiscal money. And I know we probably spent all of that too, but I think, we had reserved some thought of GC working on this stuff because they knew that we were putting, or the town select board knew that we were putting, new bylaws together. So anyway, I think maybe when we get through all this, we can go back and take a look at what ones that we think have already gone to the GC that we would like to see, activated or at least put on the high list or something. I'm not sure.
Well, or responded to, I guess.
Yeah. So I
And
mean,
then if we-
I just don't think that, from January to June, I mean, there was, granted COVID came in the meantime. So I know, issues are probably there too, but, I would think that we haven't, no, actually that was, that was this year. Yes, it was, right?
January. So we're looking at 10, 11 months now.
Yeah. But I mean,
Okay.
that was still, last year's fiscal money when they went down to GC anyway.
Right.
So whatever. So these other ones, let's see. I think before they went to GC, you'll see that column E, which just talks about who had reviewed it. We were doing our best to get these handed out to the various committees to have any comments that, they wanted to, if they were relevant, et cetera. And then there were a couple that we were recommending for deletion, which again would have to be approved before we can put them on the town warrant. That's where we were getting a little funny on the numbering the other day with the bylaw that came up at the last town meeting, because we're counting on these things that we're recommending to be deleted, but in reality, we have to use the numbers that exist right now on the website. So if you look back up at dogs, licenses, and kennels, right kind of at the top there.
Right.
Okay, that now, the way it's falling, would be our number 16, but in reality, we combined 8 and 15 to get there. And I think we added the one right above it. I don't think that was ever anything that was by itself. It might have been a slight mention, but it wasn't,
Right.
there
It was
altogether.
Right.
And the same thing with the fire lanes and fire hydrant. That was 16 and 39 of our current ones that we combined to make 17. So at some point, we're going to have to do a renumbering anyway, because I think we had talked about trying to group them so that they made some sense of what was grouped together. But just so that you're understanding the chart here and hopefully not not too confused.
Right. And my understanding is even if all we do is kind of reshuffle the deck and change the article, move the article numbers around, maybe not even some content, we still have to put it forward, correct?
I think so. My understanding is, we would still have to do an article just talking about how everything is renumbered.
Right.
Yeah, that would be I don't remember how complicated it was, but it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So then basically, I just see a mistake I just made. Oh, no, I didn't. Go ahead. Okay, if you want to just scroll down, I'll just go down to the end just for a minute. So number 30 right there at the top, is currently use of public buildings. That's one that we just had a hole there. I forget, because we had combined something. We had an empty slot. So we had arbitrarily given that number 30. It's not been drafted yet. So number 30 is not official in any way, shape, or form. And actually the use of public buildings, I say drafted, but that's only because what was in the existing bylaw, hang on 2 seconds, on our website, there is one sentence under public buildings that's currently posted as our bylaw, number 30. It says all public buildings are non-smoking. That's it. That's the bylaw. So that's why I think we felt that we certainly needed to draft more, and we were going to keep that same number. However, number 30 was taken by the
wetlands protection. Yeah.
That just got through special town meeting. So if you scroll all the way down, you'll see that I did put number 30 down there, I think.
Wetlands.
So I put that as a new red. That's 30 is the new number as it was presented. So I think we have to keep that one as 30. So the little public building one, I don't think that's going to be a terribly big deal to change that, but technically we have taken the same space, I guess. But it was getting a little confusing there, because at first they were talking about amending it, attaching it to 29, which should not be the case. So, at some point in time, like I say, the wetlands, for example, would be 30. what is now 29 should probably follow it and become 31. So there's things that, make sense to go together and things that don't really matter, so.
Yeah. So I guess when we get to the end of all of this, if we want to have some logic to how all the bylaws are organized, we may want to shuffle the deck a little bit more and do it all at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and if, unfortunately, I mean, money is prohibitive here, but if we were ever able to get that e-coding program that Lucy was talking about, that would save us a lot of hassle here to do this, but not counting on that in the near future. So I guess my only question is, when we do draft more on the use of public buildings that says more than no smoking, I don't know. I guess we change we need to change the number, but maybe we need to. I mean, we've already approved it as Article 30, the wetlands one, so I don't think we can change that. So
no.
Anyway, that's all I know, guys. So that's the best I could do.
Okay. Well, I think you've done very well.
Does that make sense, Virginia?
Put all the I feel like Humpty Dumpty. It all fell apart, and you're trying to put the pieces back together again. But I can read that. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Stop sharing.
Okay. No, we're all sharing.
Okay.
Yes, it's still being shared. I have technical assistance here. Okay, that I need. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this.
So,
okay.
Do you want to maybe for the yellow ones, maybe if we know that we have comments back, or we don't have any comments, or we need to remind them or send them again, do we have any kind of notice there? And let me grab a pen while you get ready there. Hang on, so I can make a note for myself.
Okay. All right. So there are 3 that have been sent out, and we are awaiting response, and that's been months and months and months ago. Some of it, out of consideration for what's going on with COVID, and others just changing in, I guess, the membership of some of the committees. But anyway, there's outstanding comments from the Board of Health on whether we call it nuisance or noise.
Can you just scroll up, Francine? Oh, sorry. Is that the one? Okay. What number is it?
It's 47.
Okay.
Okay. And that's been, the police went through it, we went through it, and the last step here before we bring it forward to the select board to go to the attorneys is waiting to hear from the Board of Health on that.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is numbering of buildings. Okay, that's Article 22. That went to zoning months and months ago, and they had a meeting, I believe, in August, where I reminded them that we were waiting, and I did get some feedback that they had some comments, but no one has. I wrote back and asked specifically what were their comments so that we could keep moving on this, and I have had no response. So.
According to our note here, everybody else had reviewed it, though. The police, the fire, and the building people.
Right.
Right.
It's all done, and it's left to them. It's in the kind of the final stages, but we do need to have them weigh in on it, and we haven't heard. So,
okay.
After today, or maybe even obviously, this is going to be part of my report for tomorrow night. But I will get back in touch.
Yeah.
And see where we can go. The other one is capital improvement. We did have some input from Charlie Kanicki, who at the time, who reviewed it, was the chair, but the capital committee in its entirety has not seen it. So I resent it to Matt, Rowland, who is currently the vice chair, and he will bring it up to the committee, and we should be getting some feedback on that. So those are the 3 that are, as far as we're concerned, as close to final, and waiting for feedback that we're waiting on.
Yeah.
So those.
And then
Yes.
The ones that were and maybe up above there, were they the group, how to do a meeting or whatever, or no?
Yes, the one on,
Well, actually up above there. So let's look at the yellow one. So the swimming pools,
right,
building inspector reviewed it. Ian
Right.
reviewed the other 10 and 11.
right.
Or sorry,
They
maybe
haven't.
maybe Randall. Okay, so it's with them to review. Okay.
Right.
So maybe we need to
Go back to them.
And we have a new building inspector, so maybe we should send that out anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, so I'll take care of resending those that were, as a reminder and as, just to get people.
So resending 9, 10, and 11. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then, so what did we decide about the whole dog one? That it's not BOH?
When I went to the BOH meeting, after we sent it to them, to gather the information in person, this goes back before COVID, they told me that they were not the responsible entity, and that we rely on the Westfield Animal Control for
Yep.
our animal control, and that was it. There was no discussion.
Okay. Well, my thought, Francine, I believe the animal control thing is on the agenda for select board tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we try to get clarity as to who needs to sign off on this draft, because
Internally.
the police chief already has, right? Or no?
No,
has
he
not.
still has it. No, he doesn't have it. He is to review it.
Okay. So it may be the police, but other than, because they would be the people called when there's a complaint, right?
Absolutely, yes.
But beyond that, we just don't know where to give it. So
Right.
let's ask about the dog license, kennels, and complaints.
Right. I really don't know who to do the humane care and treatment of domestic animals. That's different from licensing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, true.
There used to be a person who checked on the health and welfare of farm animals. I don't know if there is anymore.
Well, that's the animal inspector. That would be Nicole Fletcher, I believe. And I believe Board of Health, I think they are actually, or have been, working on some sort, I'm not sure if it's a bylaw, but some sort of regulation about, how much space you need to have a horse, and, treatment of other animals that people keep in town, not dog related, but
Right.
everything else. So this one on the humane treatment, that might actually be one for the Board of Health or the animal inspector.
Okay, what I'll do then is I'll forward it then to Nicole, and then if she feels she
Yeah.
needs to take it forward to the Board of Health, she could do that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not their purview, then they can tell us. But I mean,
Right.
But I would think that would be the logical place.
Yeah. It doesn't belong in animal control, and it doesn't belong with the police.
Yeah. I think that, the complaint one and all the licensing and
yes.
stuff, I mean, I think that, to me, that goes with the police. But the other part may not.
Yeah, and I know Janine and Virginia, you worked on this one. Licenses are issued by the town clerk. I'm sure she had a chance to look at it, but it's been a while. Maybe we should ask Lucy to look at that again.
That might be a good idea.
Okay. Just for the whole process that we, that's in place. And now that this, I guess, has gone through this for 2 years in terms of issuing licenses and things, she may have some ideas. Okay.
Yep. And
all right, good.
could you scroll up one? I think we missed, was there one up above that was yellow? Further up.
Yes. Finance.
Yeah. Finance committee. So now we have a brand new finance committee.
Yes. Okay.
So definitely nobody's seen that, so we may as well start over.
Yes.
And John Martin's our liaison there, so maybe again we could just mention that tomorrow night. And
I'll forward it to him, and I'll also forward it to who is now.
I think is it Ray? Or
no, I think it's Bob. I'll find out. I think it's changed again.
Oh,
But anyway, I'll find out and send it to them for their review as well.
okay. I mean, we may as well get them out there and get them in the hands of people.
Right.
You know, a lot of these people have just been, you know, newly put in their positions too, so it may take them a while. But I mean, at least, you know, we may as well start over and get them in the hands of the right people. Yeah. And, you know, if we're not ready to act on them at select board or GC level, well, at least we will have done the internal review part. I mean, okay.
I promised Ed at the end of today that I would resend him. Well, I'll forward this to him if you're okay, everybody.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But just as a, you know, kind of tweaking of what's in the hands of the attorneys that we're still waiting to hear.
Yeah.
And I'll raise this tomorrow night, and hopefully then by the following meeting, he can give us some information. Either they've acted on it, or they just set it aside until our budget could accommodate it.
Yeah, and I guess, well, when we get through it all, but what out of the ones that are green that we think that were sent to GC, then let's also do a two-part and say, okay, out of those, we think, you know, X, Y, and Z are priority. If they could do 3 of them for us for the next special town meeting, it would be our priorities, for example. I mean, I don't know, but let's go through the yellow ones just to be sure what else, if there's anything else that's out there that hasn't been commented on or where we need to resend stuff.
Okay,
so for PQB,
I think we got theirs. Didn't we get their comments back? And it was like
again, it was
the introduction to their handbook, and that's all they wanted. Do you remember that?
I do. I guess that came from a person. I'm not sure if that was a full committee, but yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt for them to look at it anyway, even if they don't want to pronounce it themselves.
All right. Since I hope I still have the original after Art gave us their.
Yeah.
I'll send both of them to them.
Yeah. I mean, they may as well at least, I mean, they need to be aware of what the bylaws says for their own committee, I think.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, and given that we haven't really moved it anywhere, I mean, they may as well be informed of it again.
Right.
There's a bunch of those. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. No, and I'll get back to zoning, but, you know, they met in August. I don't think they met until, you know, since the prior March. I mean, they meet so infrequently.
Yep.
That's kind of the dilemma, but I'll circle back with them.
No, that's true. Yeah. And then I know Randall's got 2 or 3 here too. As I'm looking at my list here, I guess I had, you know, on the column D, I have for May ATM. Well, that would have been May 2020. So
yes.
I guess I should be changing that eventually, but it's not in the way right now.
Right, which didn't happen.
Right. So it's not in the way anyway at the moment. Okay. But yeah. So.
And then we know that,
Randall's, capital improvement. Okay. Anybody else there? I don't know. The Ag Commission, and then they're another one that meets very infrequently too.
Mm-hmm.
But at least try to send it again.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. Now, a lot of these without color are ones that have already been approved, so we're okay there.
Right. Yeah.
And then these other
made no changes to because they were a fine.
Mm-hmm. So then the other yellow ones, these membership ones and conducting business ones, I know Lucy had sent those all around, and we'd have to just find out from her if she got any comments from anybody. I would doubt that all people have responded, but I would assume that maybe 2 or 3 committees might have responded.
I know she heard from some.
Okay.
But can we just go back up to 43, the town budget process?
Uh-huh.
The question is, did it ever go to the Attorney General's office?
Oh, yeah, we were trying to figure that out at one point in time. We need to have Lucy check on that for us.
Okay.
And it could be because whatever maybe I was seeing on the website, I couldn't find it or something probably at the time.
You know, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So
I think that's pretty much it.
well, we can change the wetlands one now.
Yeah.
You did already.
I did. I put 30 there. I mean,
Yeah.
just so that we, know that it's out of order, changed too.
Yes.
But I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I think so.
All right, so now let's double back. And as Chris suggested, if we prioritize 3 that we would like to have the attorneys bring to the select board, have the attorneys look at so that they could be on our next special or annual town meeting.
Yeah. Well, since we're on that visible screen, Virginia, do you want to put the community preservation one on as a priority? I know you made changes. I can't remember how extensive your changes were.
They didn't change a lot of things. Really should be done because there's a kind of some loose ends that like I needed to check with Randall and see if he wanted the thing changed about his position being always on the committee as the park commission representative. Yeah. And he said it didn't matter to him as long as he's the person, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to change that. A lot of it was tightened up.
Yeah.
But it probably should go.
Okay. So community CPC will go.
So it's 33. Okay.
I mean, in terms of
what we want them to work on, if let's see what's, I would think why don't you start at the top? It would be easier.
Yeah.
We won't go back and forth. Well, select board, yeah.
How about the local, the licensing? Well, I'm sorry, let's go back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not that anything's not more important than another, but there's some that might have some enforcement implications, I guess I would think. Yeah, select board we do, but that's just probably changing. Wasn't that changing Board of Selectmen to select board stuff?
Primarily, yes. Yeah.
Which is important, but it's not urgent.
It's not. It's not critical.
So that's what I was trying to, get at is what do we think we could put forth that would be, helpful, I guess. So yeah, that restrictions. Well, even the general government, I don't even remember totally what was in there, to tell you the truth. I'm also thinking, honestly, guys, if the legal cost is an issue, which it is, that the longer the document is we've sent in terms of the length of the bylaw, the more it's going to cost them time and money to go through. So if we find some that are not too lengthy, maybe that would encourage them. I don't know, at the legal side. The general government, I think, is one we changed around a fair amount. If I don't remember it exactly.
It's like a page and a quarter.
Okay.
Because we moved some of general government into the select board.
Yeah.
So maybe if we're going to select board, for continuity's sake, we should also do general government.
Together, yeah. But so that's an option that the two of them, if they go, should go together. But are they the most crucial to go? I guess.
Right. I'll just put them down.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that makes sense to send those two together whenever we do. So
right. And I was looking at my thinking was the local licenses and permits.
Yeah, that's just a minor thing. All they have to do is, give us the okay to delete something that they can look in 2 seconds and see that doesn't belong there. That one shouldn't be that complicated.
So we should put that on to go?
I would think so, just to get it correct. I mean, if we don't correct it, it's just one of those things that'll fall off the cliff and it'll be here 3 more years without correcting it, you know?
Yeah. Virginia, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then going.
I think overnight parking.
Yes. That is down.
Yeah. And then my thought would be 19, sidewalk clearing.
Yeah.
So that would be my gamut, I think. I think Council on Aging could wait. I think fire hydrants could wait.
You think fire hydrants before sidewalks? I mean, sidewalks before fire hydrants?
Yeah, given that, well, I mean, we'll be in the middle of snow season by the time this ever got to a town meeting. If we could get it on for a special town meeting in the winter, I don't know, but.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So that's let me keep going. We haven't finished yet with the greens.
Yep.
Okay, we're recommending these deletions on 23, 27, 26.
Right. Yeah, 26 and 7, both Randall and BOH recommended deleting those. So,
okay.
So again, I mean, if we could possibly agree to, I don't know if we have to provide some justification to delete anything. I don't know what we have to do to make that happen, but maybe Ed could tell us that.
Mm-hmm. And then, well, we know we got wetlands protection, and
so it really would be that bunch. I mean,
so what I have is CPC, licenses, overnight parking, clearing sidewalks, and hydrants.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to skip hydrants for now, we can.
No, I don't think it was very long either. I mean, I think, again, just trying to get to out of that bunch, the CPC one's probably the longest one, but I mean, you know, it's all pretty standard language that they should know anyway. I mean, they shouldn't have to research anything on CPC, I would think.
Right. Right. Okay.
So what's the number on fire hydrants again? Sorry, I'm not seeing it on.
Fire hydrants. Oh, let me go
down.
up.
Yeah, just what number was that?
14, I think.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. That was soliciting. Sorry.
17.
Yeah, 17. Sidewalks.
Okay.
Was 18, 19.
Yeah. I mean, these are our numberings, so maybe.
I'm going to use the old numbers. Do you agree?
Okay.
Well, I'll use them.
If they've already gone to GC, though, they've gone with our new numbers on it.
Yeah, okay, so I'll use the new numbers.
So, I mean, when it comes back and we have to put it into a warrant, we'll know that we've got to fix the numbering issue back to the older existing number, right? But
okay,
I guess.
So those 5 then will be the ones that we talk about tomorrow night. They've already been reviewed. They've already gone to general counsel, but whether or not there are funds to get their review done so that we can move this along.
Yeah, well, especially that one is just to look at the paragraph that was incorrect last time. So that shouldn't really take long. And then I don't know if we want to recommend these 3 deletions or not. I mean, I don't know.
No.
But maybe we could let those go.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not hurting anything. They're just sitting there.
Right. Yeah, I would until we see where we are.
Yeah.
Virginia?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. All right. So any other comments on this? I mean, this was a lot of work, Chris. You really did a great job in bringing us up to speed here.
Well, I felt that I was getting lost and I needed something to organize myself. Yes. So I apologize if my system of organizing doesn't match your thinking modes here.
No.
But that's how my brain works.
No, I'm glad it worked out this way. I think the color coding of everything, really helps us track.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that's holding us up, I think, I know it feels like we haven't done a lot, but there is a lot that's already, been done in the pipeline. We just haven't seen it come out the other end yet.
Exactly.
And so
we're going to remind the groups, though, that are supposed to be reviewing, right?
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But everything kind of went on hold with the with COVID, because they really weren't meeting, or sometimes if they were meeting, they had more pressing issues than this.
Sure.
And so I think because this is going to go on, so we're going to have to figure out how we can do two things at the same time, because it's not going away, and we have these other issues to deal with. So
just one thing back on the nuisance one, you're going to try to bring that up at Board of Health. Is that what you were saying? Or
yes.
Okay. Because I think out of, once we get through these that are sort of priority, that we think are with GC, or they're at least with Ed if they're not with GC. To me, the nuisance one and soliciting, and probably tag sales would be the three that would be like next in line to get finalized. We heard so many comments before about, aren't we putting in some sort of noise ordinance or whatever, which is where we got into the nuisance one, right?
Right. And I know the police chief really, was in favor of it, because they do get a lot of calls about noise, and they have absolutely no point of reference.
Yeah, exactly. So this would help, I think, a few things. So in terms of, and we had gotten a draft of some guidance, I think, from Ian already about soliciting. So
yes, we have that.
We've got something to work from. So I guess my point is that, if we decide to continue to, or start to meet again monthly or whatever, that those might be the next three that we could try to tackle maybe.
I think you're
well, nuisance
there's nothing to do with nuisance. We're done. Tag sale and soliciting, I think would be those two. And
yes, you're right. You're right. And the tag sale one, I don't think would be that complicated either. The soliciting one is probably going to be a little bit more complicated, but but yeah, I think if we could ever get these done, it would be so good. I would feel like we've got, a real roadmap here of how things, sort of work. But I don't know. Well, and again, here's a question too, Francine, for, Ed. I mean, I know we use KP Law, but, we've brought up at Select Board occasionally, can we not have access to another local lawyer who might be more available time-wise, because KP Law obviously deals with many towns, that would probably be not only more available, but most likely cheaper in terms of their hourly rate to review something like these? I mean, why do these all have to go to KP Law? Cannot another lawyer look at Mass General Law and figure out whether this is right, wrong, or indifferent? I mean, should we bring that up tomorrow night too?
We can, but the answer is others are not as knowledgeable as they are, and it would take someone else twice as long and probably talk, because they're not familiar with it, and twice as much because it's not what they ordinarily do. That's what I was told.
Well, it depends on the kind of lawyer you find. I mean, it's, I'm not talking about a divorce lawyer. I mean,
no, I know.
But anyway, all right. Well,
but yes, we can certainly bring it up. Other local lawyers.
I mean,
so that we move this along a little bit. Yeah. I guess the concern is, if they don't agree, somewhere down the line. Yeah. Where are we? So that's the concern.
I guess it just seems like there's so much stuff in that E-code document from many other towns that somebody could refer to and, follow similar wording even if they didn't know. I don't know. Maybe that's too much to hope for. Anyway.
Can I ask a question since you're also working on this CARES Act?
Yeah.
This was just a thought about how we might get the E360 in the event. Obviously, we can't meet. We don't have the facilities. Would that be something she could write in?
I don't know.
I know it's really stretching, I guess, but
I'm gonna
thinking
tie
about
it
it.
to, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
yeah,
It might be a bit of a stretch to
I know.
tie it tightly to COVID stuff. I mean, the non-meeting stuff, yeah, but it would be nice.
And the fact, yes, and the fact that we haven't been, I mean, because other
Right.
departments are obviously occupied,
Right.
we need to be able to move this stuff along.
Yeah.
And if that would get us the initial, and then we would have, a maintenance every year thereafter.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll probably, I'm certain somewhere this week we'll be talking again
Yeah,
with Ed about stuff. So we've got to be working on putting the application together anyway.
okay.
So yeah, I'll remember that and ask. I don't know about
Yes, see where we end up.
Okay. It's a thought.
Okay. All righty. Okay, so then are we finished with this page here at
I
all?
think so. I believe
Okay.
so. I'm good.
All right. So we're back to us. Hello again. Okay. Next we had reviewing the pending draft that thank goodness went forward and passed on the wetlands protection.
Right.
It never came to us. It came to us via Chris because she's on Conservation Committee.
Mm-hmm.
But it went directly to the town. Anything you want to add to this, Chris?
No, I mean, basically this was the version from, 2017. I mean, the same language. It had been vetted by general counsel at the time. And then I think Ed did run it by our legal counsel this time too. So everything was fine. And we had a lot of good questions, I think, at the special town meeting, but Concom reps managed to hold their own and handle those questions. And
Yes.
so, yeah, so it's good. So again, as with the others, this has got to go, Lucy, I'm sure once she's through the election or somewhere in between, she'll end up sending this one off to the AG for approval, and it won't actually be in effect until we get that approval back and it's posted on the website, is my understanding. It's only zoning bylaws, not general bylaws, that take effect immediately, I think. Mm-hmm. Or at least, or zoning maybe goes to general counsel too, but they don't have to be posted to be effective or something. There's some nuance there, but anyway, these four from the last special town meeting plus the wetlands now, we just need to get through the system all the way to get posted so that they can be officially recognized, I guess.
Again, I do hope that there is no time limit from the time you get the approval from the AG to the time of posting. When we put it into effect. So there's something in the back of my head that said that there was 90 days. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. We'll check. But I didn't find it when I did this.
Yeah. Well, it would make sense that there's
investigation. Yeah.
It would make sense that there's a timeline, and Lucy may know that actually.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to spend my time getting this to Ed, prioritizing what we discussed. I'll copy you guys on those communications so that you have it. Mm-hmm. I do have, if you want to see, what we have is our close to final drafts. They're quite lengthy. Let me see where I can find my shared documents again. Yeah, share screen, okay. There we go. It's pages and pages and pages. We're probably looking at almost 60 pages. Now, this is what, Chris, this is the version you and I worked on.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. Of everything that we've done and drafted.
Oh, I see. Yep.
And finalized.
Oh, so right. In terms of where the edits were, you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my question is to you both, would you want me to just send this whole file to you? So you have it as well?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, I don't know, Virginia, if you'd like it, I would probably take it just so that we don't risk, losing it by mistake or something after all the work that's been put into it.
Okay. All right. So
You can,
Yeah.
because it really is, I mean, for us to go through it, unless we're going to be working on some articles, we would use it, but otherwise, so I'll send it out to you folks so that you both have it.
Is there
And Lucy too.
And Lucy too. Is there a date on the bottom of that so we know what
This
version?
is the version is said December 30th.
Wow. Okay.
Can you believe it was that long ago?
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Because we met in March, and I have to see from Lucy, recovered the March meeting minutes so that we get them posted. But it's been since March.
Well, and I'm glad. In a way, I'm glad that we have that level of detail, because I surely don't remember what we moved from one section to another, let alone one bylaw to another. So that will be a good working document for us going forward, let alone at some point having to explain some things when we put it toward town meeting, right? So yeah, it's probably better that we all have a copy, then we can't get lost.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Let's see. We sort of went out of order, but it all kind of came covered. We did cover everything that was on the agenda for today. Let me just ask, is there anything else that we didn't get to that you folks think we should be raising at this time?
I could think of. No.
There's nothing that we did today that requires any motions.
no.
No.
All right. So we're all a work in progress. Okay. So let's look.
We are a work in progress. That's true.
Really. Thank you, Chris. This put it back into some workable form.
Well, it refreshed my memory too of, it's like, where were we with this stuff,
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think it's about 90%, 95% accurate. No, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
All right. So the next item then is to schedule our next meeting. Do you want to wait some time since we have to hear back from some people? Or do you want to continue going ahead and moving ahead with a couple that we were prioritizing, which would be soliciting and tag sale, for us to work on? The rest we have to kind of manage through the system. We've done what we can do on them.
Yeah. I don't know. Virginia, what do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe we could meet and work on those two, and then be kind of making some steps forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess my thought, I don't see us needing to meet more than once a month, frankly, at this point.
No.
But I wonder if, as you're sending those draft bylaws back around to the various committees for review, do we want to put a timeline on them for them to get back to us? Try to?
I have done that.
Yeah.
The last timeline I put out there was May.
Yeah, I know.
And this is October, and I've not heard from anyone.
But,
so,
I'm wondering like the end of November or something,
Okay.
Give them enough time. Give them 6 weeks to get back to us.
All right. So we'll do that. And then based on tomorrow night's meeting, or maybe the select board meeting that follows that, we'll have some guidance on how many of our priorities we can submit, again, so that we don't kind of put everything in the pot and never put it on the stove, so to speak.
Exactly.
It just never gets cooked.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have a sense of what we could do with our.
Yeah, because as soon as we do get some review back from the different committees, then it's still got to go to select board for review.
Right.
So it's
absolutely, yes.
So we need to kind of be dribbling those in as much as we can, like we said last time. But
right.
I think hopefully everybody meets once a month. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so if this is,
Where are we? Let's see. So,
we take a look.
November. What day of the week do we want to? What day of the week were we meeting?
I thought
Thursday, was it?
I think we were meeting on Thursdays. Yes.
Yeah.
And we were meeting during the day, so that seemed
Right.
to not interfere with any evening. Is Thursday good for you, Virginia?
Yeah, generally.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess you're not doing any supervision, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, that kind of, I called a halt to that anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if we look towards, do you want to meet the Thursday before Thanksgiving or the Thursday after, which would put us at December 3rd, either the 19th or the 3rd, 19th of November or December 3rd?
Well, the 19th of November only gives these people a month to meet and get information back to us. So maybe the December meeting might give them a little more time.
Chris?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think December 3rd, and then we could, if we don't have anything back from anybody, then we should plan on trying to work on solicitation or something. I mean, we have a working session on
Okay.
on one of the two that we want to draft or something.
Okay. So,
I guess Lucy ought to be able to be freed up a little.
Yeah, hopefully by then. Yeah.
you'll have a month after the election. Yes. She should be done counting by then.
I hope so.
And
Yes.
reporting on whatever she's got to report
Yes.
on.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what I didn't do when we started was ask for a recorder. Therefore, I will draft this.
Yeah.
But before I'll send that out to you folks for comments. All right. Before our next meeting. And I'll do it anyway now, just to get myself organized about the next steps that I have to take with what we talked about today.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Good.
All right.
Shall we motion? Shall we
So with that,
adjourn?
Yes.
Good. Good.
A second?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
All right.
All in favor.
All in favor. Here we go. All right.
Thanks,
Well,
Francine.
you.
That was
Thank
good.
you,
That was
everyone. I'm glad we finally got connected.
Yeah, I
Apologize
think
for
we
that.
needed to. I'm
Mix
glad we
up at the
did.
beginning. All right.
Yep.
Thanks again.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.